Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I'm also a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I want to talk about if an avoidant says these words, they love you. We've touched on things like this before, but I also think it's really important because what avoidants say, sometimes it doesn't seem like it's love if you don't understand how avoidants think. And sometimes you guys might even think it's not love. And I don't want you guys to do that because if someone loves you, I think that's very healthy for you to at least be aware of that, even if I don't know how you feel about the other person, but if an avoidant loves you and there is something that you feel with them too, and it's reciprocal, I think this is a very beneficial situation, right? Because as we know, healthy relationships, they are very beneficial. I mean, people live longer, they're healthier, they're more positive. It fights so many diagnostic impressions. It's so healthy. And so, of course, I want you guys to do this. And I want you guys to know this. It's actually the reason why I make videos, so that you guys can become happier and stronger versions of yourself. So the first one is, I do want to change. I just want you to give me time. Some avoidants you might even see, it's like verbatim. So similar, they'll say something almost exactly like this. But even if it's not verbatim, it's something along the lines of they are willing, but they just can't do it right now, but they plan on doing it. But they want to do it when they're not pressured. That's all it means. And it's a good sign because sometimes it can happen like in a week after this, depending on what you guys are talking about, right? Sometimes it happens like in an hour. It depends, right? Like I'm in a relationship, you guys know this, and both of us used to be avoidant. And I remember one thing that I would ask him is like, if he would tell me when he's about to, this was very much in the beginning of the relationship, if he was like, going out of town for a business trip, all that I would ask is, can you tell me when you're about to leave, like maybe a week or two in advance? And he was like, yeah, I can do that. And then like, let's say I would find out from like another person that there's a potential he would have to go travel to do this meeting or seminar or whatever it is. He's in finance, so sometimes these things happen. And I would be like, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, I didn't even get that information yet. Give me time. And then I want you to give me time so I can prove to you that I will tell you. And I was like, oh, like, of course, like I didn't even realize how it looked like. And I apologize, of course. And he was always telling me like, you don't need to apologize. These are things that we need to work on to learn. But it really helped me to realize sometimes I just need to give him the opportunity to show me. He told me that all the time. Like, just let me show you. And then like, before you know it, like an hour later, he's able to do that. And so that's an example. The next one is, it's not that I don't want to, I just want you to give me time so I can show you. So it's really similar to I do want to change. It's very similar. It's not that I don't want to, I just want you to give me time. And so this is an example that comes up a lot in couples therapy. For example, let's say there is bedroom issues, and let's say the husband or wife is pulling away, the avoidant is pulling away in the bedroom. They're saying, it's not that I don't want to do that with you. I just want you to give me time so that I can show you. Wait until I'm ready, then we can do it together. I can initiate, just trust me, it's going to happen. It's usually that they're feeling, I just don't want pressure. The next one is, it's not that I don't want to open up to you. You are the person I open up to the most. I think this is important because sometimes this shows up in arguments and people think it's like, it does come across really poorly. And I'll explain that. If they're upset at you and you're upset at them and you're saying, you don't open up to me, I feel confused. I feel like you're not telling me something, whatever it is, and they're saying like, it's not that, like you're the person I give the most to, and you might feel like, okay, so is this your limit? Sometimes that happens, right? But that's not what they're saying. They're actually saying, I have already changed in this relationship, so I'm going to change more. But they just don't say it like that, and so you don't know that that's what they're saying. You might think, oh, so this is the maximum you can give somebody, but that's not what they're saying, right? They are saying, I have come from a place where I didn't tell anybody how I felt. And now I tell you things. And so I did that for you, for this relationship. And so I want you to know it's coming. It's going to happen eventually. But they just didn't say it like that. So it might go over your head or miss it. That's why I wanted to share that with you. The next one is, this one happens normally after fights or when there's some tension. It can happen randomly, but it's not typical. Actually, a lot of this occurs after an argument or some tension. And so it's important because it does help push them along. So it's never to not have arguments. It's just to be aware of the balance, okay? I know I am difficult sometimes and I am sorry. Sometimes the I'm sorry part is not there. Sometimes it's just I know I am difficult sometimes. And the reason they're saying this is not because they're saying that more typical non-committal communication where they might say, I'm difficult, you deserve better. That's not what this is. I'm not saying that. Even though that is something, but it's not commitment. It's actually avoiding that commitment because they feel like they're not good enough. That's not what's happening. They are almost saying, I know I'm difficult sometimes and I'm grateful that you're still with me. It's not that they're running away. It's just that they're acknowledging that they know. And usually they're acknowledging it because it's their opportunity to slowly change as well. If you start hearing them say this, not only does it signify they love you, it does mean that they are trying to change. And change is good. I'm not saying they're going to change completely into a different person. It's just both of you guys will change in the relationship. That's part of life, right? That's part of how you grow. I think there was research, I can't remember when, but this is so common. You guys see it all the time. People who get married, you'll see them like 10 years later and their dynamics are really different. I mean, it doesn't have to be married. I've been with my significant other for a good number of years and I'm not the same person I was when we met, and nor is he. Like, we've gotten to such a point where it's like there's so many things that are like flawless and seamless in the relationship that in the beginning wasn't seamless or flawless at all. And so it's just something to keep in mind. The next one is, I appreciate you being here with me. This one is interesting because it's a very vulnerable situation, and fearful avoidance might be like say this more often. In the sense, this is a more significant conversation fearful avoidance may have with their partner when they love somebody, because fearful avoidance believe this more than even dismissive avoidance or anxious preoccupied. They feel that they're a burden. Now, dismissive avoidance feel like they're broken or flawed, but they don't think they're a burden for being broken and flawed. They just feel like that's what they are. Like they don't like dismissive avoidance feel like shame. Anxious preoccupied feel like they're unlovable and they have to earn love. Fearful avoidance feel like both of that combined and then some. And so they almost feel like they do. Why fearful avoidance tend to leave relationships is because it's like they're doing a favor by not being with you. Dismissive avoidance don't feel like that. But the reason they say, I appreciate you being here with me, is they're almost like saying, I'm grateful you put up with me. And they are so happy to finally like actually have that love, because the fearful avoidant does have that abandonment wound, right? Fearful avoidant / disorganized, they're the same thing. All that it means is that you have strong factors of both anxious and dismissive. And usually, well, that's the presenting side. But the childhood is that you've had trauma, a lot of trauma. Usually it's like severe types of trauma, right? Not just abandonment, not just like parents that are really strict, but maybe you saw something you shouldn't have seen. It was traumatized you. Maybe you were assaulted. I'm sorry if that happened to you, but these things is what creates fearful avoidant attachment. And so often they have a lot of these narratives that people who don't have trauma just don't have, right? They believe that their existence is just burdensome, that they should be alone. Even if they don't want to be alone, they should be alone. It's a favor for them to leave, right? Dismissive avoidants feel like, okay, relationships are kind of suffocating. I need to back up. But they're not saying it's a favor that I'm leaving. They might say it's a favor because you guys are too different, but they're not saying like, I'm such a difficult person, I need to be locked away, in some room forever, whatever it is. Fearful avoidance, they actually feel like, I don't want to cause issues. And so when they say, I appreciate you being here with me, it's not just that they love you, it's so much more. Like they're almost saying like, I don't want to run away because I'm actually grateful that I actually have something that I like and that I'm allowed to like. And the last one is, I think we are making progress. This one is more common with dismissive avoidance. Dismissive avoidance feel like progress means, okay, you're changing, I'm changing, this is good. This is logistic, this is comfortable. And a lot of times when you hear them saying this, particularly for dismissive avoidance, that they almost feel like it's slowly, soon enough time to get married, depending on the relationship, because they're tracking how you guys are going so that they can slowly see, okay, is this person the person I want to commit to and get married to? Fearful avoidance do this as well, but it's more common with dismissive avoidant. Let's summarize and I'll wrap it up. I do want to change. I just want you to give me time. It's not that I don't want to. I just want you to give me time so I can show you. It's not that I don't want to open up. You're the person I open up to the most. I know I'm difficult sometimes, and I'm sorry. It doesn't always have to say I'm sorry. I appreciate you being here with me, and then I think we are making progress. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.